Imagine if your cat knows all your deepest secrets. Yes, even that one. The one you think nobody else knows, not even your closest friend. Well, guess what? Your feline companion might be a lot more perceptive than you give them credit for. They're not just silently judging your life choices from the comfort of your couch. They're picking up on things you wouldn't believe. Welcome back, cat lovers. Today, we're diving into the mind of your furry friend to uncover the 13 astonishing secrets your cat knows about you. From your quirks and habits to your fears and emotions, get ready to discover how your cat is not just a fluffy companion but also an expert in reading you like a book. So grab a cozy blanket, maybe your cat too, and let's slip into their world and see ourselves through their whiskered perspective. Trust me, some of these will leave you amazed, and maybe a little creeped out. Alright, let's get started with the first secret, something that might make you reconsider the whole hunting together thing. 1. They know you're not good at hunting. Let's be honest. Cats see us as oddly built cats, lacking hunter-like physical abilities like sharp claws and flexibility. They know you can't pounce on a sneaky rat or even catch a fly, the way they can. That's why they proudly drop a half-eaten mouse at your feet. Yes, more than fun or a gift, cats are teaching us a hunting lesson. But let's make this fun. Has your cat ever brought you a gift before? Go ahead and share in the comments. What did they bring, and how did you react? Did you give them a proud smile or a nervous, thank you? I know some of us are still recovering from the last surprise they brought in. It's not always easy to look grateful when there's a mouse involved, right? While they see us as clumsy, oversized felines, they genuinely want to help us. Cats have instincts honed by their wild ancestors, and though they don't rely on hunting anymore when domesticated, those skills persist. So, when they're skeptical of our hunting abilities, they bring gifts of prey to show us how it's hunted. In their eyes, we need guidance. Sure, we provide them with food, but their idea of us buying or making their food is beyond their understanding. They think of us as great providers but not hunters. So, bringing you a mouse is their way of saying, look, this is how it's done. I love you, but next time, you've got to catch your own. Now that we know our cats think we're clumsy hunters in need of guidance, let's look at another fascinating skill they have. Tracking where we are, even when we're not home. 2. Your cat knows where you are. Picture this. It's June 2024, and Benny and Suzanne are on their first trip to Yellowstone National Park with their beloved cat, Rainbow. But things take a heartbreaking turn when Rainbow runs off into the woods. Despite searching tirelessly for days, they have to leave Yellowstone without him, feeling defeated and devastated. Fast forward 60 days. Out of nowhere, a kind stranger finds Rainbow wandering the streets of Roseville, California, nearly 900 miles away from where he went missing. She takes him in, feeds him, and brings him to an animal shelter. Thanks to Pet Watch, Benny and Suzanne receive the call they never thought they'd get. Rainbow is safe. The story of his journey goes viral, and everyone is left with one big question. How did he do it? It turns out, cats have some amazing abilities. Research shows that cats can understand locations remarkably well, especially when it comes to their owners. They have a strong sense of mental mapping, using their sharp hearing and instincts to navigate. This explains how Rainbow found his way across states, driven by a sense of home. So, if your cat is exploring outdoors, take a deep breath and remember Rainbow's journey. Cats have an incredible knack for finding their way back to where they belong. And speaking of being tuned in, let's move on to another incredible feline skill: recognizing your voice among all others. 3. Cats know your unique voice. Game time. Let's try this. Call your cat and see if they come running. Even if they don't, watch closely. You might see those ears twitch or their head turn, signaling they heard you but just chose not to respond. Now here's a challenge. Ask a friend or neighbor to call your cat's name. What happens? Does your cat stay aloof or ignore them completely? Share your results in the comments below. Did your cat react differently to you versus your friend? I bet they did. It's because cats are more in tune with us than we realize. How they react when you speak versus when a stranger does is no accident. They're excellent at recognizing voices, especially yours. They hear your tone, your pitch, even that special gentle way you talk to them, and they know it's you. Strangers? They just don't get the same VIP treatment. Research from Dr. Saho Takagi at the University of Kyoto shows that cats use our voices to map out their world. Basically, you are their constant. So, next time your cat perks up or flicks an ear, know this: they aren't ignoring you. They know you, and they recognize the love in your voice. Speaking of recognition, it turns out your cat isn't just great at picking out your voice. They also know your name and the names of those around you. Let's find out how they manage to do that. 4. Your cat knows your name. Cats are smarter than we think. Japanese research by Dr. Saho Takagi confirmed that cats can recognize not just their own names but also the names of their fellow cats and people around them. I remember a story when every time Jenny called her daughter, Sophie, their cat, Whiskers, would dart over to Sophie's room. Whiskers knew the name meant Sophie, her favorite person for cuddles. Cats associate names with specific people and faces. They hear you calling and think, "Oh, that's the one who gives me treats," or "That's the lap I nap on." Studies from the University of Tokyo proved cats can tell when you say their name, even if you try to fool them with other words. And it's not just about tone, they respond even when a stranger calls them, but caring less. Living in a stable home with fewer pets also helps cats get more familiar with the names of everyone around. So, whenever you call your cat or your family, remember, your furry friend is listening closely and might know exactly who you're talking about. So your cat knows your name, but it doesn't stop there. They're also sniffing out where you've been. Let's dive into their incredible sense of smell and why they always seem so curious about your shoes. 5. Your cat knows where you've been. Cats have a nose 14 times more powerful than yours. What's more magical? They also have an organ in their mouths, located at the end of their nasal cavity, called the Jacobson's organ. This organ helps them analyze scents even more deeply. Yep, they can sniff out tiny scent changes in their environment, especially on you. Ever come home after hanging out with a friend's dog or cat, only to have your cat all up in your space, sniffing you like you're a mystery? That's because they've picked up on something unusual, another animal or even a different food. Here's a story for you. Once, I came home after visiting my neighbor's cats. The moment I walked through the door, my cat Mona began sniffing my shoes and hands. She wasn't mad, just intrigued, trying to figure out who I'd been with. Cats can even tell when you've been eating something like fish or garlic. Expect them to give you a thorough sniff over in those cases. They're masters at detecting change, and their curiosity leads to a fun game of scent detective every time you've had an unusual day. After figuring out where you've been, it's time for them to get your attention. Next up, we'll talk about how your cat has perfected their meow to make sure you do exactly what they want. 6. Cats know you will listen to their meows. Cats have always been intelligent. Studies show that cats have learned to meow more pleasantly because they found vocalization helpful in attracting human attention, which gets them food and safety. That's why your feline friend has a special meow just for you, and it works. You understand their meows as more than just random noise, it's a call to action. Whether they need food, feel scared, or simply want to play, they've perfected their meow to make sure you respond. Let's make this fun. How well do you know your cat's meows? Try this. Pay close attention to your cat's different meows throughout the day. Is there a difference between their "I'm hungry" meow versus their "Let's play" meow? Share in the comments what you've noticed about your cat's communication style. It's fascinating how each cat has their own vocabulary, designed to get your attention, isn't it? Take my cat, Maria, for instance. Every morning, she jumps onto my bed and lets out a series of loud, demanding meows. It's her way of saying, "Wake up." It's time for breakfast. I can't resist that adorable sound. Cats truly know when to be sweet and when to be demanding. So, the next time your cat meows, remember, they're not just chattering. They're expecting something from you, and they know exactly how to ask. But it's not all manipulation and demands. Sometimes those meows mean something deeper. Let's talk about how your cat might even know when you're not feeling well and why they stay close to comfort you. 7. Your cat knows you're sick whether you call them clinical labs or little meds. Cats can sense your health status, including pregnancy and ailments like asthma, cancer, heart problems, strokes and fibromyalgia. Wondering how they do it? That's their superpower. Cats have up to 80 million scent receptors, 16 times more than yours. They pick up on the smells your body produces due to chemical imbalances or hormone changes, signaling illness. Besides this, studies prove that they're sensitive to your facial expressions, tone changes and gestures. Think back. Has your cat ever slipped into your lap to comfort you with gentle purrs when you were in pain? That's what they're doing, healing. Just like Sarah, a fibromyalgia sufferer. She noticed her cat, Max, acted differently whenever her pain flared up. He'd curl up on her lap, purring loudly as if trying to ease her discomfort. It became so consistent that Sarah began relying on Max for comfort during her toughest days. But it's not just your scent. Cats also watch your energy levels closely. They notice subtle shifts in behavior and emotional states. So, if your cat friend comes to heal you with their purrs or won't leave your side when you're sick in bed, give them a gentle cuddle and appreciate their healing power. Now, besides knowing when you're unwell, your cat also senses your daily comings and goings. Let's explore how they always seem to know when you're about to leave. 8. Knows when you're leaving. Your fur baby has a deep emotional connection with you, and that's why they care so much when you leave or come home. Cats are incredibly observant, and they use this skill to pick up on the little clues that signal your departure. It's almost like they've learned to read your routine. For example, my cat Mona knows exactly when I'm getting ready to go out. The moment I start gathering my things, slipping on my shoes or picking up my gym bag, she perks up. Sometimes, she'll even follow me to the door, her eyes almost pleading as if to say, "Can you please stay home today?" And honestly, those moments make me feel so special and wanted. Do you think I should reward her for her love? Well, sometimes I do. On certain days, when I know she's expecting me to leave, I decide to stay in instead. I'll make my favorite meal or sit down with a cup of coffee and some poetry, and Mona's reaction is priceless. She meows happily, jumps into my lap, and gives me all the loving licks. It's her way of saying, "Thank you for staying, Mama." It's moments like these that remind us just how connected our cats are to our actions. Speaking of routines, your cat's not just watching when you come and go. They've got a remarkable ability to pick up on your everyday habits. Let's see how they learn your schedule and adapt to it, almost as if they have their own internal clock set to your routine. 9. They know your everyday routine. Cats are masters of routine. It's like they have a natural clock ticking in their minds, letting them know exactly what's coming up next. Their exceptional skill in remembering daily events often makes us wonder how they always seem to know when it's dinner time or playtime. Spoiler alert. It's not just coincidence, your furry friend is super smart. Every day, when you feed your cat at the same time, they start associating that time with food. The result? At that exact time, you'll notice your cat meowing and pacing around, clearly excited. Don't be surprised. It's as if their internal alarm clock just went off, telling them, dinner time. And it's not just about food. Cats learn your entire routine. If you usually take a walk after breakfast, your cat might be there, following you to the door, as if ready for an adventure. They're like little detectives who figured out your schedule and adjusted themselves accordingly. Think about your own routine for a moment. Is there a specific time or action that always makes your cat react? Maybe when you pick up your keys or start making coffee in the morning. Share it in the comments. It's fascinating to hear how different cats pick up on different parts of our routines. Cats love to know what's coming next because it makes them feel secure. And if you thought it ends with just knowing your routine, think again. Cats have also learned to use this knowledge to get what they want from you. Let's explore how our furry friends can be master manipulators when it comes to pushing our buttons and getting their way. 10. Cats know your responses and how to manipulate you. Cats are much more than just their cute, innocent looks. Sure, they've got those bright eyes and fluffy fur, but beneath that charming exterior lies an exceptionally intelligent creature. People might say cats are self-centered, but what they really care about is their need to feel safe and well-fed, and they've become experts at getting exactly what they want by tapping into our emotions. Cats are incredibly observant. They watch our moods closely, almost like little kids who figure out when it's the best time to ask their parents for something. When you come home after a long, tiring day, feeling a little grumpy, who's there at the door? Your cat, ready with those sweet head bumps and gentle meows. And what happens? Your heart melts, you give them a scratch behind the ears, and boom! Your cat has successfully gotten your attention. They know exactly how to play the game, and no, they aren't being evil. They're just incredibly good at reading you and figuring out how to get what they need. Think about it. Your cat knows your routine, your moods, and when you're most likely to respond to them. Studies even show that cats have developed different kinds of vocalizations, like a crying purr, specifically designed to grab your attention, usually when they want food or cuddles. It works like magic, doesn't it? Here's a perfect example. When I'm busy cleaning, my kitten, Tiny, loves to, accidentally, bump into my ankles, making it impossible for me to keep going. Is he clumsy? Nope. He's strategically interrupting my cleaning time because he wants some playtime, and it works every single time. So, next time your cat gives you that adorable look or lets out a pitiful little meow, remember, they're not just expressing themselves. They're trying to get something out of you, and they're good at it. But let's be real, who can say no to those little furballs anyway? And once they've got you wrapped around their paw, they love being close to you. Let's talk about how your cat knows all your favorite spots and why they always seem to be right there, sticking around wherever you are. 11. Your favorite spot. Cats are like little detectives, always keeping an eye on you, memorizing every detail about your life. According to a 2021 study, they do this because they genuinely care about you, especially if you're their favorite person. They know your scent, your voice, and even the unique sound of your footsteps. But they don't just notice these things passively, they actively remember your habits and where they're most likely to find you. Whether you're munching on popcorn while watching your favorite show, lounging on the sofa, curled up with a book in bed, or working at your desk, your cat keeps tabs on all your favorite spots. Once they find you safe and sound, their next move is almost predictable. They'll hop into your lap or nudge you for attention. It's their way of showing that they're happy to be near you. My late tabby cat, Mono, was exactly like this. She was my little shadow, secretly following me everywhere I went. No matter how tired I was, Mono would always jump beside me and lick my arm, like she was saying, "I'm here for you." Those moments of finding her waiting for me were pure joy, and I couldn't help but feel grateful for her loyalty. So, the next time you settle down somewhere and find your cat suddenly beside you, don't be surprised. They've been watching and waiting, ready to share in your comfort. They're your little shadow, following you from room to room, always ready for some quality time. Of course, being near you also means they know all your boundaries, and they love to push those limits, even if it means getting caught in the act. Let's explore why cats are so fond of testing those boundaries and seeing just how far they can go. 12. Cats know your boundaries and never shy testing them. Whether we think of cats as earthly companions or tiny alien beings, there's one thing that's for sure. They understand the boundaries we set for them, but they absolutely love to test them. Cats are keen observers. They read our body language and pick up on our moods. When they see you busy working, they might lounge around nearby, being the perfect picture of a well-behaved kitty. But as soon as you settle down on the sofa or bed, suddenly, they're on a mission to test the limits. Take my white tabby cat, Mona, for instance. There have been so many times when I've caught her silently tiptoeing across the kitchen counter, trying to find her favorite bag of treats. She'd peek under the racks or even try to open a cabinet. The moment I shooed her away, she'd hop down, as if to say, "Okay, you caught me." But the mission was never really over. It was more like a pause in our little game of cat and mouse. Sure enough, once I turned my back, there she was again, back on the counter, ready to try her luck. Mona knew the rules, but that didn't stop her from pushing them, just a little bit. And whenever I caught her in the act, she'd give me those big innocent eyes or pretend to groom herself, as if saying, "Who, me?" If you've seen your cat trying similar stunts, remember, it's all part of their curious and playful nature. Respect their space and don't punish them too harshly. You don't want to scare them or damage the trust you've built. Instead, redirect them with some treats and make them feel loved for their playful spirit. After all, that mischievous charm is one of the things we love most about them. And finally, whether they're testing boundaries or cuddling up beside you, there's something that stands out above all: how incredibly tuned in they are to our emotions. Let's uncover just how well cats can read our feelings, often better than most people. 13. Your fears, emotions, and weaknesses got a cat? Then you've got your very own little emotion detective with whiskers. Scientific studies from animals Basel show that cats can sense your emotions, whether it's fear, stress, happiness, or anger, often better than most people around you. That's why, when you're feeling low and want to be left alone, your cat just refuses to budge. They'll jump onto your lap, share those slow, comforting blinks, or roll over at your feet as if saying, "Hey, I'm here to make you feel better." But how do they know when you're down? It's almost like a sixth sense. Cats have an extraordinary sense of smell, and when you're stressed, the hormones your body releases slightly change your skin's odor, as well as your body language and tone of voice. These clever creatures pick up on all those subtle signs and spring into action. Take my friend Sarah's cat, Luna, for example. Whenever Sarah has had a rough day, Luna knows it. She'll follow Sarah around, meowing insistently, and then jump in her lap, purring loudly. It's her way of comforting Sarah, almost like she's trying to melt the stress away with those soothing purrs. It's amazing how intuitive they can be. Think back to a time when your cat seemed to understand exactly what you were feeling. Did they come over when you were feeling down, or maybe they were extra affectionate when you needed it most? Share your story in the comments. It's always incredible to see just how in tune our cats are with our emotions. So, the next time you're feeling overwhelmed, remember that your cat is ready to lend a paw and comfort you, whether it's with purrs, cuddles, or simply sitting quietly by your side. These little fur detectives have you all figured out, from your moods to your routines. And the next time they give you that knowing look, you'll know they're probably onto something. And there you have it. Your cat knows way more about you than you probably realized. From knowing you're not the best hunter, but still loving you anyway, to sensing when you're feeling under the weather, and even mapping out your routine with military precision, these little furballs are truly remarkable. They know your name, recognize your voice, and can even tell when you're about to leave, whether they approve of it or not. And let's not forget how they masterfully manipulate you into giving them extra treats or attention with just the right meow. It's incredible, isn't it? Your cat isn't just a pet, they're a little detective, always learning more about you, watching, listening, and yes, caring, in their unique cat-like way. So, the next time you catch your cat staring at you with those curious eyes, remember, they probably know something about you that even you haven't figured out yet. If you enjoyed learning about these amazing feline secrets, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and share this with other cat lovers who might be amazed too. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more adventures into the mysterious and fascinating world of cats. And tell us in the comments, what's the one thing your cat seems to know about you that always blows your mind? We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep the kitty cuddles coming. Thank you for watching.